Peace be with you, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Trevor. Very grateful to have you here. And today's video is a recap of my weekly fragrance rotation, just about this third week into January 2024. So the weather where I've been at has predominantly been gray, overcast, silver skies, a little bit of fog, some heavy rainfall. We're actually in a boil warning right now because of rapid melting of the ice where I'm at, messing up the water pipes and whatnot. So we have had a lot of wetness and precipitation in the air, so some of the fragrances that I enjoyed quite a bit in the autumn time and played well with dry air aren't performing exactly how I remember them here in the more wet atmospheres. So I'm going to get into that a little bit here with the rotation, starting off with Monday and Tuesday. I actually had off of work this week. Usually I'm working those days during the day and night, but my son was born on Saturday last week, and so it took a little bit of time off with the family. Spent most of the time Monday and Tuesday relaxing around the house. So for Monday I went with Black Soul Imperial by Ted Lapidus, a really nice dark leather coffee scent with a unique mint note and some 1 million style sweet spices. This is just something that I enjoy in a comforting manner around the house. Coffee is one of my favorite lounge around the house and cozy up style notes. But because it was raining pretty heavily, it was dark outside, the cloud cover was pretty heavy, this was one that I used to both cozy up with the coffee but also dive deeply into that more melancholic, reserved, at-home atmosphere in the dark, stormy weather that was going on outside here this winter in January. So we had Black Soul Imperial from Monday. Tuesday I was in a similar mood, kind of wanting to relax around the house but in a more dark, reserved and enclosed style feeling. It was just very much of a shut the world off and enjoy some presence with my family. But I also wanted to have something that was kind of a bit elegant and easy to wear on me at the time, so I went with Chanel's Antaeus. So while it is a dark fragrance, the aldehydes and the posh sort of powdery suede style leathery texture that's going on in here is a perfect office style scent for me, and I just felt being at the house this Tuesday and it being kind of dark out again, like I said, more foggy and creepy sort of Halloween style weather, but here in January with a little bit of melting snow on the horizon, this was a perfect fragrance for me to just kind of sit back and enjoy activities here at home and the melancholic style weather that was just outside the window here. So that was Chanel's Antaeus for Tuesday. Keeping in kind of with that dark theme later on in the week, but as for Wednesday, it was my first day back at work, and since I tied some scent memories to the birthing room with my children with this fragrance, Sauvage Parfum, the 2012 version, I decided to wear it back to work and really embody that fatherhood memory that I tied to this one at the hospital and carry it with me into the world and present myself that way as my debut back from after being with my son at the hospital when he was born. And this is just a really beautiful, almost dark licorice style barbershop fragrance with a heavy myrrh emphasis, so it's very resinous, very dark, very well suited for the winter time, I would say, and a lot less citrusy than the 2017 reformulation, although this one still does have a really nice bright style zest to it, I want to say. Not so much like a sparkly, refreshing aspect of the citrus, but really more of a zesty, enlivening aspect here, playing in with the lavender and the myrrh. Just a really stunning regal style fragrance. I think this is a good descriptor for this one. And like I said, the black licorice is really a dominant aspect of this, and I believe that's coming in from an elemi resin in here as well. So Sauvage 2012, this was my debut back into the world as the father of 2 children. And so Thursday I kind of bit the fougere, or the fougere bug bit me, and having worn Sauvage on Wednesday, I wanted to wear another fougere. And this is one of the ones that I was talking about, remembering fondly in the autumn time, but here with the wetness in the air and the increased precipitation and the lack of kind of lingering dry heat leaving the summertime, this one wasn't as fondly it didn't perform as fondly as I remembered it in the fall time. Still a good wear, but I think the woody facets of this really pop more in dry air. This is B-612 from Nishane, and this is a really nice cashmerean wood-centric style fougere fragrance. It's really kind of like a neo-fougere. It doesn't really have as much of that posh style feel that some of the older fougere style fragrances with a little bit of a powdery cleanliness to it. This one is a lot more industrial feeling, I want to say. It definitely has like a polished wood sense feel to it, a little bit of a fuzzy or textural feel from that cashmerean as well. But yeah, cypress is another note that's in this one that I really love to wear in January. Cypress is a great note for this time of the year for me. But this one I just felt did a lot better wearing it in October and September, and I think the dry air makes this one pop a little bit better, at least off of my skin. But that was my scent of the day for Thursday, B612 from Nishane. And I did continue with wearing Nishane into Friday. Friday I usually like to wear niche fragrances, and wanted to test this one out. It was a blind buy. So far it is a blind buy fail, however. It is definitely, I think, a little bit overhyped, but I'm still getting to know it, and you know, it could perform more to my taste in the autumn time when the air is a little bit drier, so I'm going to give it a full year's worth of chances before I really write it off. But for being a higher end niche line coming out of the Nishane house, this is Nefs, and kind of what I get here with this one is the cereal waffle crisps. So it's got this honey cinnamon vibe going on, so I get a little bit of like a waffle crisp sweetness over the top of a somewhat, you know, typical rose oud. Really nice, well blended, high quality set of ingredients, I want to say. So the rose oud is done very well. It's a little bit refreshing. I don't want to say refreshing, but it has a more light presentation of oud and rose, and it's not so dense and thick and heavy as something like, say, the Oud Satin Mood line or Oud Vanille from Frank Olivier. So it's got this kind of fresh oud rose combo going on with that, like I said, waffle crisp style honeyed cinnamon sweetness. But I feel like the sillage on this could have been good, but I got no comments on wearing this fragrance on Friday at work. I had a hard time kind of smelling it on myself, so I felt like the projection was a little bit intimate, and overall the scent profile didn't quite wow me per se. So this one right now is something I'm gonna have to give some more chances. Only first time wearing it, but so far was not impressed for being as expensive of a fragrance as this is. That was Friday, Nishane's Nefs. And Saturday I had the chance to enjoy some time alone with the family again and do some more or less lounging around the house. And again, the atmosphere was kind of this misty, foggy, rather on the precipice of being freezing temperatures, like 1 degree give or take on it being frozen. I think the Saturday we especially didn't want to go out and do much because there was a ice cover on most of the roads, and so wanted to kind of be reserved in terms of going out and risk sliding around. And that black ice that coated the entire outside at the time was a good harmonizing agent with this fragrance right here, Encre Noire. So this is, again, like I said, keeping in with the Monday, Tuesday fragrances of Antaeus and Black Soul Imperial by Ted Lapidus. This is another one that goes in that same direction. Again, another one with cypress, like B612, one of my favorite notes for the more aspects of the year, such as October, November, and January. These are just times of the year where the outdoors really calls to me in some sense, and this one with its cypress and the nice dry down into the more like woody aspects of the cashmerean, I think, is in the base here. Gives it a little bit of a sweet, cozy kind of vibe over the top of the entire scent profile being like a pen ink. So this is kind of like an inkwell for a wooden pen is a good way to describe this one. Definitely something that's got a little bit of that green briskness coming in from the cypress as well, but just a beautiful wearing experience around the house in that melancholic atmosphere for the weather that we've been having here in January. So that was Encre Noire for Saturday. And then finally Sunday, to end off the week, having been bit a little bit by the fougere bug, I wanted to wear another fougere. It's my favorite genre of fragrance, and so this was one that I've been hankering to pull out for, especially in the upcoming springtime. It definitely has a good outdoorsy style feel to it, like some of the other fragrances I've been reaching for this week. And this is Duc de Vervins L'Extrême from Houbigant, and you can't tell that it's the L'Extrême version unless you look and read down here on the bottom, but you can usually find these around the $100 mark, I want to say. I think eBay is the only place I saw them at right now. But when they are in stock on places like Fragrance Net, Joma Shop, the Perfume Spot, I believe is where I got mine at, you can pick these up for under $100. And I think it's a 120 ml bottle too, so you get more than the full 100 mL's worth of juice. And this is just a very nice, a little bit old school, but kept modern enough to be passable style. Almost like, it really smells a little bit more like Gucci Nobile. It definitely has that outdoorsy, rugged sort of green tree atmosphere, like the evergreen style pine vibe going on. Beautiful, beautiful lavender, and just a refreshing, easy to wear fougere that I think is really, you know, almost like a dumb reach fougere, if I had to say one of these in my collection right now, that's not discontinued and isn't absolutely, you know, niche prices like something like Sartorial. You know, like I said, you can usually find this for right around the $100 mark or less. Really, really something that I absolutely enjoyed, more so I think than anything other than Sauvage this week. I think just reaching for something that was a little bit refreshing like this and in my favorite genre. And the lavender in here is to die for. Duc de Vervins L'Extrême from Houbigant was what I ended off the week with on Sunday, and really looking forward to wearing this one in the springtime as well. So that was my week in fragrance. Let me know what your rotation was in the comment section down below. I always love hearing from you guys and kind of navigating where I'm going to be sampling and blind buying next in my own fragrance journey in, you know, upcoming wearing wardrobes for the winter of 2025 and beyond. So as always, I really appreciate you sticking with me to the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.